His face wore a placid, satisfied expression, and at intervals he faintly murmured, "Bloop, bloop." The mole was busy trying to quiet the horse, which he succeeded in doing after a time. Then he went to look at the cart, on its side in the ditch. It was indeed a sorry sight. Panels and windows smashed, axles hopelessly bent, one wheel off, sardine tins scattered over the wide world, and the bird in the cage sobbing pitifully and calling to be let out. The rat came to help him, but their united efforts were not sufficient to right the cart. "Hi, Toad," they cried. "Come and bear a hand, can't you?" The toad never answered a word or budged from his seat on the road, so they went to see what was the matter with him. They found him in some sort of trance, a happy smile on his face, his eyes still fixed on the dusty wake of their destroyer. At intervals he was still heard to murmur, "Poop, poop." The rat shook him by the shoulders. "Are you coming to help us, Toad?" he demanded sternly. "Glorious stirring sight," murmured Toad, never offering to move. "The poetry of motion, the real way to travel, the only way to travel, here today, and next week tomorrow. Villages skipped, towns and cities jumped, always somebody else's horizon. Oh bliss! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh my, oh my. Oh, stop being an ass, Toad," cried the mole despairingly. "And to think I never knew," went on the toad in a dreamy, monotone voice. "All those wasted years that lie behind me, I never knew, never even dreamt. But now that I know, now that I fully realise, oh, what a flowery track lies spread before me henceforth. What dust clouds shall spring up behind me as I speed on my reckless way. What carts I shall fling carelessly into the ditch in the wake of my magnificent onset. Horrid little carts, common carts, canary-coloured carts." "What are we to do with him?" asked the mole or water rat. "Nothing at all," replied the rat firmly, "because there really is nothing to be done. You see, I know him of old. He is now possessed. He's got a new craze, and it always takes him that way in its first stage. He'll continue like this for days now, like an animal walking in a happy dream. Quite useless for all practical purposes. Never mind him. Let's go and see what there is to be done about the cart." A careful inspection showed them that, even if they succeeded in righting it by themselves, the cart would never travel no longer. The axles were in a hopeless state, and the missing wheel was shattered into pieces. The rat knotted the horse's reins over his back and took him by the head, carrying the bird cage and its hysterical occupant on the other hand. "Come on," he said grimly to the mole. "It's 5 or 6 miles to the nearest town, and we shall just have to walk it. The sooner we make a start, the better." "What about Toad?" said the mole anxiously, as they set off together. "We can't leave him here, sitting in the middle of the road by himself, in that distracted state he's in. It's not safe. Supposing another thing were to come along." "Oh, bother, Toad," said Rat savagely. "I've done with him." They had not proceeded very far on their way, however, when there was a pattering of feet behind them. The toad caught up with them, thrust a paw in inside the elbow of each of them, still breathing short and staring into vacancy. "Now look here, Toad," said the rat sharply. "As soon as we get to the town, we'll have to go straight to the police station and see if you know something about that motor car and who it belongs to, and lodge a complaint against it. And then you'll have to go to the blacksmith or the wheelwright's and arrange for the cart to be fetched and mended and put to rights. It'll take time, but it's not quite a hopeless smash. Meanwhile, the mole and I will go to the inn and find comfortable rooms where we can stay till the cart's ready, until your nerves have recovered their shock." "Police station? Complaint?" Toad murmured. "Me complain of that beautiful heavenly vision that has been vouchsafed me. Mend the cart? I've done with carts forever. I never want to see the cart or hear of it again. Oh, Ratty, you can't think how obliged I am to you for consenting to come on this trip. I wouldn't have gone without you. Then I might never have seen that swan, that sunbeam, that thunderbolt. I might never have heard of the entrancing sound or smelt that bewitching smell. I owe it to all of you, my best of friends. The rat turned from him in despair. You see what it is? He said to the mole, addressing him across Toad's head. He's quite hopeless. I'll give it up. When we get to the town, we'll go to the railway station, and with luck, we may pick up a train that'll get us back to the riverbank tonight. And if ever you catch me going a-pleasuring with this provoking animal again, he snorted, and during the rest of his weary trudge addressed his remarks exclusively to Mole. On reaching the town, they went straight to the station, deposited Toad in the second-class waiting room, giving a porter 2p to keep a strict eye on him. Then they left the horse at an inn stable and gave them directions they could about the cart and its content. Eventually, a slow train, having landed them at the station not very far from Toad Hall, they escorted the spellbound, sleep-walking Toad to his door and put him inside it, and instructed his housekeeper to feed him, undress him, and put him to bed. Then they got out their boat from the boathouse, sculled down the river home, and at very late hour sat down to supper in their own cosy riverside parlour, to the rat's great joy and contentment. The following evening, the mole, who had risen late and taken things very easily all day, was sitting on the bank fishing, when the rat, who had been looking up his friends and gossiping, came strolling along to find him. He said, "There's nothing else being talked about all along the riverbank. Toad went up to town by early train this morning, and he has ordered a large and very expensive motor car."